हेलो एस्पिरेंट्स। आज हम आपके लिए लेकर आए हैं द सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट ऑफ वुमेन एट वर्कप्लेस प्रिवेंशन प्रोहिबिशन एंड रिग्रेसल एक्ट 2013। ये एक्ट पॉश एक्ट 2013 के नाम से भी जाना जाता है। दिस एक्ट इज यूजफुल नॉट ओनली फॉर जुडिशरी एस्पिरेंट्स बट also for UPSC and other legal exams aspirants. I am Sumedha Maheshwari. These are my qualifications. Additionally, I have also taken main examination for 5 different states. I have been mentoring aspirants for over a year. So I am going to tell you today what you need in order to write answers for POSH Act. So let's get this video started. For the convenience of the viewers, I have divided this act into two parts. In the part first of this act, we are going to learn about the introduction and history of POSH Act, the aim and purpose of the act, and by the end of part 1, we will be able to understand sexual harassment at workplace. इसकी definition क्या है, इसका meaning क्या है. So, let's begin with introduction and history of the act. On August 13, 1997, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के डिवीजन बेंच जिसमें फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस BN किरपाल एंड जस्टिस सुजाता मनोहर शामिल थे, उन्होंने विशाखा वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान की इंपॉर्टेंट और लैंडमार्क जजमेंट में ये हेल्ड किया कि सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट leads to depravity among the victims and it is a gross violation of the fundamental rights as guaranteed by the Constitution of India under Articles 14, 19 and 21. Along with defining sexual harassment for the first time, Supreme Court ने guidelines issue किए to deal with sexual harassment at workplace. These guidelines were famously known as Vishakha Guidelines. Later, in 2013, the Parliament of India enacted the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. Now, this act extends to whole of India, including the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Let us understand the aim and purpose of POSH Act. In order to understand the aim and purpose of any law, we must look at the preamble and the statement of objects and reasons of that particular law. So, the preamble of the POSH Act states three aims. Firstly, protection against sexual harassment of women at workplace. The key word here is protection. Secondly, prevention and redressal of complaints of sexual harassment. That means prevention of sexual harassment and redressal of the complaints of the sexual harassment. Thirdly, matters connected and incidental thereto. But why? Why do we need POSH Act? The purpose of POSH Act is that right to equality under Article 14 and 15 have been provided by the Constitution of India. That right to live with dignity under Article 21 is guaranteed. That right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business जिसमें क्या included है? A right to safe environment free from sexual harassment under Articles 19 and 42 of the Constitution of India. Article 42 being a DPSP. Also, one of the most important factors is that India ratified the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women on 25th June 1993. Now, in order to give effect to an international convention or agreement, under Article 253, a domestic law is enacted. Now, let us understand sexual harassment at workplace. We can divide it in two parts. Sexual harassment we will deal first and then we will get to understand what is a workplace. According to Section 2N of the Act, one or more of these unwelcome acts or behaviors जिन्हें directly या फिर by implication किया गया हो, they are included in the definition of sexual harassment. Physical contact and advances, or demand or request for sexual favors, or making sexually colored remarks, or showing pornography, or other unwelcome physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. Yes, the unwelcome acts must be of sexual nature. Let's understand a workplace. A workplace can be broadly divided into private and government workplaces. So, firstly, let's see what is a government workplace. Any department, organization, undertaking, establishment, enterprise, institution, office, etc. जिसे own, control या फिर finance किया जाता है किसके द्वारा? By the appropriate government or local authority or government company or a cooperative society. प्राइवेट वर्कस्पेस की बात की जाए वर्कप्लेस की बात की जाए तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्राइवेट वेंचर undertaking enterprise institution establishment society trust NGO service providers etc are included, which means almost all the private organizations are included. Thirdly, hospitals or nursing homes. Fourthly, any sports institute, stadium, sports complex, games venue even. For example, if Olympics or Commonwealth Games are being conducted in a stadium or a games complex, then that complex or stadium will also be included in the definition of workplace. Fifthly, any place visited by the employee during the course of employment. Also, this includes the transport. For example, a bus of a university is taking a teacher from place A to place B, and meanwhile the teacher is sexually harassed on the bus. Then that bus will also be considered in the category of a workplace. And last but not the least, a dwelling place or house, which means that POSH Act also protects women working in dwelling places or houses. Now, who is an aggrieved woman? Who can file a complaint under the POSH Act? As per Section 2A, an aggrieved woman is, in context of a workplace, a woman of any age, which means she could be major or minor, whether employed or not, who alleges to have been subjected to any act of sexual harassment by the respondent. In context of a dwelling place or house, a woman of any age who is employed, who is employed in such a dwelling place or house. Therefore, at a workplace, it is not necessary that the woman should be employed there. But for a woman at a dwelling house or place to file a complaint for POSH, she must be employed at the house. For instance, a maid or a house helper will be considered as an aggrieved woman under this definition. What is prevention of sexual harassment? Declaration for prevention of sexual harassment is given under Section 3 of the Act. Section 3 subsection 1 declares that no woman shall be subjected to sexual harassment at any workplace. That means कोई भी महिला किसी भी वर्कप्लेस पे सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट को सब्जेक्ट नहीं की जानी चाहिए. Following circumstances, if occur with or in connection with any act or behavior of sexual harassment, may amount to sexual harassment. इन acts में included है implicit or explicit, implied या explicit promise of preferential treatment in her employment. For example, अगर आप ये करते हो तो आपको बोनस दिया जाएगा, अगर आप ये करते हो तो आपको प्रमोशन दिया जाएगा. Implied और explicit threat of detrimental treatment. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप ये नहीं करते तो आपकी सैलरी रोक ली जाएगी, अगर आप ये नहीं करते तो आपको बोनस नहीं मिलेगा. Thirdly, implied or explicit threat about the present or future employment status. अगर आप ये नहीं करते तो आपको जॉब से निकाल दिया जाएगा. Fourthly, interference with her work or creating intimidating, offensive, hostile work environment for the aggrieved woman. And lastly, humiliating treatment likely to affect her health and safety. That's all for part 1. In the part 2 of this video, we will discuss the implementation of the Act through the various committees under the Act and other stakeholders. We will also learn about the procedure under the Act. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe Legal Maestro Educators for more such content. Thank you.